कृपया ध्यान दीजिए, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen, yaar, don't be so conservative. Friday morning live stream. They're calling it the hottest month in July. They are liars and fools. I'll disprove that theory in a minute. But first, we're still in separate places. The reason, of course, is not the burnt studio anymore. The studio is on its way to repair, and hopefully next week we'll all be inside it. But it's because we've got two pretty girls on the show, and the municipality in my area said that I'm not to come in within 5 yards distance of them in a personal capacity. So I could not enter the studio. So we said everybody do it from different places. So Ayushi is there, and Niveditha has been there since 6 o'clock in the morning. She's insecure about the show and her importance on it, which let me tell you and assure her is very, very, very big to us. And there's a new hairstyle from Ayushi as usual, who's decided to become the, I don't know, the
Why do you say this?
It's a busy hairstyle.
Well, last time she had that more Zinat Aman, I've just done a shampoo ad thing.
Yeah,
and by the way, that was
haven't
offline, and then it
shampooed
changed
now,
in 5 minutes later. Yeah, and now this is more like what the Kim Kardashian picture that I saw recently, with the hairs all
bun.
rolled up and yeah,
It's
big one. Yeah, thanks.
It's
Thanks.
the monsoon humidity.
She's quite happy with
hairstyle.
all this, by the way. Huh? Look at the
I
ego.
know.
She's not denying anything. Yeah, well, it's possible that you mistook me for Kim. Harmeet has sent $2 Canadian, $120. Finally, watching live with my two favorite panelists. You horny bastard! How dare you talk
Be
like that about
respectful.
me and Ayushi?
This is a man of taste. This is a man of quality.
Yeah.
Is this? By the way, can I just ask? Is this a live show or is this what is this one? I don't know.
How dare you?
Yeah,
Of course, it's live.
No,
And
no. In the
Rohit is,
sense, sorry, is it the paid one or is it not?
no, it's a normal show. I know it's confusing. This is a normal show which is live for whatever reason. We'll explain that to you later. We'll waste everybody's time. Yeah, I mean, but Rohit is saying, Rohit is saying you're the same.
Niveditha has the same house as Urjita. No, I'm actually in Urjita's house. That's what's happening.
They are more than friends, Ayushi. Who are we to judge? Huh?
Oh, okay. I didn't know. You know, usually I ask for IVM gossip, but it's never this. Like, I never
not
really.
really. The real gossip is between them. They have one background. That's the horrible, sad story.
No,
Urjita
is too young for me. It can't happen. It's like 23 or
Wait,
something.
how old is Urjita?
Just 23, 24.
Well,
I think she just celebrated her 25th birthday. I went for it.
That's right. And also she was turned
She's
25, but
baby.
because of coming on this show and making controversial statements about boys and all that, she's aged very quickly. She was very young about a year back. But
this show does age you.
Yeah.
But oh, by the way, we weren't invited for Urjita's birthday party.
No, I'm never invited. Oh, did you know Sriram also had a birthday thing? None of us were.
Sriram
I mean,
didn't
I
call
wasn't
me.
invited.
Oh, really? Okay,
Sriram,
it's good. Sriram didn't even say it was his birthday. He just said, "Hey, Niv, can you just join us for some drinks?" I was like, "Who's gonna be there?" Because it's gonna be all comics there. And he didn't tell me, and I was like, "This is." But then I went anyway, and I'm glad I went because it was apparently his birthday dinner or whatever. And I was like, "Why didn't you tell anybody the reason?"
I'm here to dispel any notions because people keep DMing me about like, "Oh, there's something going on between the two of you."
His love, Ayushi.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I just want to tell everyone who has these like weird theories that have now spiraled. Like I have people DMing me about this. It's not normal. I just want to let all of you know. If you think that this is true, he didn't call me for his birthday.
Okay.
So it's not a thing.
This is not a reflection of anything. Let me explain psychology to you, especially for Indian males, okay, who suffer from all kinds of complexes. The whole idea is he couldn't call you. He just didn't have the guts to call you. He wanted to call only you. The party was just you and him and a big cake with one candle. But no, he didn't have the guts to do it. So that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
He's safer. Like he doesn't have a crush on Niv, so he'll call her very blatantly. You know, when you like a girl and when you don't like, when you're normal with a girl, right, Niv? It's a totally different relationship, right? You can talk anything with a girl which you're normal with. But the moment you have a big crush, these little things, you can't even, the mouth doesn't open. The great comedian can't talk. I'm telling you, Ayushi.
Which great comedian are we talking about now? Because
Sriram in Chembur is supposed to be one of the best.
Also Sriram's going to be heartbroken.
Yeah.
No. He knows. I have
never denied it. He's never denied his crush. No. It's a one-way crush. No one's saying that you're rushing into it. I'm sure your parents want to grow of a comedian at this stage in your life, and possibly look little further. open the pool a little bit. By the way,
Yeah.
when the comedians have a party, what do you go? Does everybody try to out joke each other? It's like a joke off.
Man, no,
Sorry, that
it was
sounded
it,
bad. Joke off.
no. When comedians get drunk, it's just everybody becomes even more insufferable than they already are. It's
Oh my
crazy.
God. So basically, it's like me, Kunal coming over on a normal day. Oh my God, this is horrible. And
I don't
but
think get invited to this stuff. Shreyash actually is the only person who's very nice and consistent with being like, "Hey, I'm having something come through," and I've gone. Like, I've hung out there, and it's been fun. But otherwise, no one calls me. I'm still periphery. I'm still on the outside.
But that's a bit mean actually, Ayushi, because A, you're single, so you're entitled to have a bigger social life than say people like me. And B, you have a social life. They know that because they study you, they follow you and all that. So they know you go out a lot and stuff. So you're the kind of person who may attend. So I personally am taking this as a sort of as a patriot of South Mumbai, so South Mumbai
Yes,
Stan. For me, it's an affront. My people,
I
my
think it
tribe has
is.
been insulted.
And I think they don't it's a specific South Bombay reason for it.
Yes,
They're like,
yes,
oh, you
yes.
live far, like we didn't want to tell you about
Yeah,
it,
they don't
like
want the
make you come
humiliation
all
that
the
you would say.
way.
You would have said, I would have loved to come, but it's in chamber. Rather go to France this weekend, that kind of thing. Yeah.
And so what? I was going to France, but I couldn't move things around. I like a party.
Hey, check this out. Sorry to cut. Rajesh,
Yeah.
Sarkar is saying I'm spot on because that's exactly. See, I under all these are truisms of at least the males. We really are uncomfortable with girls we like. I'm telling you,
But
I can write a
as
book.
advice, but don't you think, Niv, as advice as girls, isn't it so stupid that if you like the person, why wouldn't you want to hang out with them more?
Because it's not reached that stage where he feels that he'll get a positive response, right? So obviously that's not happened. So what's happened is you're being very nice and we're all a big tribe here and we're all friends, so it's cool.
No, we're talking about Rajesh. We're not talking about me anymore.
Rajesh is the same situation. He wasn't able to push the envelope a little further, right, and get a good response. Or
No,
rather,
I guess
risk it.
No matter what the age, it's intimidating to try to get someone you like to hang out with you because you don't want to come across as needy or clingy.
Oh no, I'm here to tell you that you should ask. This is first hand
reject them.
No. I asked someone out and it went really well.
I ask people out all the time these days. You don't have time. We're running out of time. When you're 30s, you're marching towards death. What are you afraid of?
I'm a little different. I ask people to leave all the time. I'm like, can you go? I'm like, not girls, but just people.
To clarify, I didn't ask the person out. I told them they should ask me out. They should ask me out. I'm like, you should ask me out.
Who are you dating? A 4-year-old? I mean, why do you have to tell him?
Yeah, but it's a little slow, but yeah. But I'm saying it's not like you should.
But did you have chemistry? Did you feel there was
with
chemistry from both sides? I mean, obviously, from your side, but you feel from his side also?
Obviously, so I'm not a fool.
Baba, Sriram doesn't have that yet. He doesn't have that. He's not confident enough yet about you. I'm telling you, if he's with Niv, who's a very attractive woman, no problem. He'll joke about everything, and he won't hold back. Religious jokes, political jokes, sexual moments, all good. Moment he's with you, it all changes. You get what I'm saying? I'm not lying about this. You can study this. Men lose their personality when they are with the crush who they're not sure of. This can be at 40, 50. It doesn't have to be at 18, 19. And Sriram's age, nobody knows because as an upturned tree, we can't tell. Oh.
So, Cyrus, how did you get Aisha? Did you not have, you had to
get Aisha? I went to the shop. I paid. I got the guarantee.
How did you win her over?
So, see, by the time we get into all that, the first thing is we work together. We were forced to work together. I won't go back to all these stories. But so then after some time of spending time together, you sort of have a little bit of, then you go out mutually. I can't remember having a formal, it's more like every Friday night we drink. So you want to come? I tell all the girls, let's go out. So in that sense.
But that's what I'm saying. You used to tell you cast a wide net.
Yeah, wide net, but there's no fear now with the wide net because the wide net, if they say yes or no, it's not really hurting you.
Something will come even if it's bycatch.
That's in a normal situation because our standards were so low and so were theirs if they turned out with us. But long story short, so I can't remember formally asking her out, but I do remember that one night we ended very late and she was living in the working women's hostel here, and they shut they can't let you enter after 1 or 2 or whatever. We missed that deadline. So we were driving back. I, of course, didn't drive. Kunal drunk was driving. And so we said, you want to stay in one of our houses? We were all drunk, but he was driving. It was very, very bad those days. But so then we asked her, and you can check with both of them. And I said, why didn't you stay with Kunal? Because I thought, she'll feel more comfortable with him because I was flirting more with her. But apparently she was very uncomfortable with him and said, no, can I stay in your house? This is in the car in front of all three of us, open conversation. So she came and she stayed in my house and then she never left. That's the sad story. And yeah, it could have been
see,
Kunal who
that's so
married.
cute,
Kunal could
though.
have married her.
KM trust. Cyrus
But
tried
many,
hard for Mini Mathur, but she was besotted with Kabir. Which Kabir
no,
was
she
this?
wasn't. Kabir was already there in her life, and we used to flirt openly. That's a slightly different story altogether. But yeah, it could get awkward if I asked her out formally, which never really happened. Thank God. Because if you like a girl, to ask her out formally is another story altogether. Like I like both of you all, but I have no problem. I could say, "Come on, let's go out for a drink or dinner." It would not be a problem. But the moment there's a thing.
Should we? Because
What is
honestly,
that
Niv
sound?
and I are just waiting for invites
When
from
I said,
somebody.
"Can I ask you out?" When I asked, there was a conch, like the beginning of the Mahabharat war or something. A ladai is about to start. The moment I said, "Can I ask you out?" Did you hear that?
It was
Who's
a
near the
sign
train
from the
station?
universe. Me.
How? In
I'm near
Nepean
car
Road?
station. I'm not in Naples. You're in my
Ah,
office.
in your fourth office, the one you keep near the platform so the people can come on time.
No, I started this office so I could be close to IVM. So it's like
Yeah.
easy for me to go across the
Now
street.
stop
No, but
dissing
I
IVM.
really, I really do want to understand. Like for me, one of the reasons I haven't been able to really get into the dating scene is because I'm always moving, right? I'm always moving around. I'm never in the same place for long enough to build any kind of familiarity
You've
with
been in
anybody or
Bombay
have
for
the
so
same
long
friend groups.
now.
May I say,
Not
you may,
really.
Niv, you may also
Like
intimidate a lot
on
of
and
men,
off.
okay? Because you got a sharp wit and a sharp tongue,
Oh
and
my
a
God,
lot of
somebody
Indian men can't
just
handle
said
that.
that to
All
me.
right?
A
Yeah,
week
you are.
ago, someone said that to me.
Yeah. I'm not lying,
Yeah,
What am
and
I
it's not a
doing?
bad thing.
but
But
it's
it is who you
honestly,
are.
I've heard that about myself as well. But it's the
Yeah.
thing of like when I first met you, just as a conversation. Now we've completely forgotten that there is a show. Now it's just us
Yeah.
having an
Now it's
interaction.
three of us in a bar discussing our personal lives. So much fun. Yeah.
I mean,
Fuck you, public. Who cares?
I don't care. But I mean, I think the first time even that I met Niv, like right off the bat, there was so much there was immediate joke, there was wit, and there was so much banter that happened like so fast that I almost felt like, oh my God, she's so, I need to be on. Like I need to be turned, like my mentally turned on right now to like
Good. Yeah,
keep
fair enough.
going with this. And
I
I
feel
think
like that
that
about
guys are not
you.
smart and sometimes guys are dumb.
No,
They don't
stop the dumb.
get
Can I,
it.
may I, in both your cases, see you're fairly, not fairly, you're really confident women. I'm not putting women down, but there are lots of girls men are more comfortable when the woman is on the back foot. Okay,
Yeah,
for some reason. I don't know why.
that's
Is it in
true.
our DNA or the way we're trained or what? The moment we have women who are confident, attractive, got a lot of personality, call the shots on their own, it's not easy for men especially the first step. The first step is a huge, maybe once they get to know you and then they break those barriers, then it's of course much easier. But I'm telling you, as a manager, love manager to both of you, Indian men may not be right for you. To go out with Western men or a little more, they're exposed
Hey, you
more
know
to
what?
people
The
who are
first
super
time I went
confident.
out with someone who was a Mexican dude. The first guy
Okay,
who asked me out in
let's start with
Bombay was a
French.
Mexican guy.
Let's move to Mexico slowly. Mexico. Yeah, because the
But
Latin machismo is a
have you
lot
been
like
dating
ours.
in Bombay? Have you been dating in Bombay like a lot
Wow,
or
what a
not
show we
really?
got today, ladies and gentlemen. What a show we got
No,
today.
man. First of all, the time that people are free to go on dates, I'm at work
Working.
going for shows or something
Do
like
you
Only
that.
two
call do you
professions.
call
Only
guys
two
for
Here's the
professions.
shows?
problem.
Do you
You
call
know
guys
what?
for shows?
I did that. I don't like to call them for shows, but I did that once where I called them to a venue where I was doing a show before the show so he could leave when the show started, but he didn't leave. And he stayed and he came to the green room and he took a nap and it was just so bad.
He took a nap.
He took a nap
But
and then
he
like
couldn't
and
hear.
then
He couldn't hear the
but he was
performance. He
being
was in the
so
green room.
romantic because he got up just to watch my spot. He took a nap, but he woke up just for my spot and he was like, I
Okay,
woke up for you.
That's
And then
fair,
he
nice.
went
fair.
back to sleep.
Let's give him he's got a 9 to 5 job. He's a normal conventional guy, and so late night.
No,
How
no,
can he?
no, no, no,
Fair,
no,
it's
no.
fair. And then
He's
He
also
isn't
a
like that.
comedian.
He isn't that. I think he was homeless. I don't know about his background. This
you were
guy
dating a
was
homeless
from
man.
Austria or something. Look,
You were dating an
I really
Austrian,
respect.
homeless Austrian in India.
I respect. Look,
The
this is
last
not
homeless
even a
Austrian
date.
started the
I
Second
was
World
I
War.
was just being I was just being adventurous one time. All right. And this guy had met me at some comedy show that I was doing actually. And he came and he started a conversation with me. And I'm always like very respectful of people that can approach you like that and
Yeah.
have a decent conversation. Now, although this guy looked homeless and probably drugged or something, I don't know. He still was very,
What are
very
you
kind.
doing? Like you need to just the bar needs to be a little higher than homeless.
No. This is all prejudice.
I
We don't
didn't
know
know
what he
about
really
that
is.
until
He
I
could
met
just be
him that day.
unhygienic. Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't call
that's
him a
what I
druggie.
thought.
We don't know.
The
We don't
first
know.
time, that's what I
Yeah.
thought. I thought he was just unhygienic. And then
Yeah.
when he came on date, I realized he wasn't just unhygienic. He was also
When he stood next to
broke.
Sriram, who was cleaner?
Broke.
I mean, that's our barometer.
Sriram.
Oh my God, leave this guy. If Sriram is the hygiene
No,
product here, I would, bro, no.
No, I was very polite to him. I bought him food and drinks, and then I left.
You bought him food? Are you an
Bad.
NGO or a girlfriend?
You
What's going on?
You bought him food and drinks.
Man, I felt so bad. Yeah, I did.
One second,
you know what? You know what's so horrible? A lot of comics saw this. Even Sriram was
The
there.
Austrian GDP is pretty good. What's going on here? One second. There's an Austrian guy who was homeless without money in India.
Yeah.
And he's come to
there's
a
a lot of
comic
those.
to get, and he has decided that the person that should sponsor him is a comic. Like, I just want to understand in the decision-making process,
And that
where did he go wrong?
No,
Ayushi, after seeing her set.
Yeah, I didn't even do that well that day. But I didn't even offer. He just, I don't know. He
So what happened?
He had no money, so
Okay,
he
so
didn't pay for the.
Did you
what
see him
happened
again?
post?
Did you see him again?
Of course not. No.
Of course.
He asked me. He wrote poems for me and everything, though.
How
a
many
really odd
people
story,
have
but
written?
really.
But how many people have written things for you? Didn't somebody else also write you a novel or a book or like an
Tamil poetry of 10,000 pages.
That's
The guy
one.
cried, and today we don't know. He might be part of some terrorist fringe unit or something. The guy is, I don't know where he is and what happened to him because of her.
No, he's married and has a child.
But he's in touch?
All my college. Look, in Coimbatore, if you wanna do the dirty, you got to get married. So everybody gets married as soon as they finish college, right?
They get married
Now,
just for
all
sex.
of my classmates.
This is opposite to South Mumbai. You get married and then you don't have sex. What the hell?
So
Geography
all
is
the
such an
guys in
important
my
part.
class have 10-year-old children by now because they all got married as soon as we finished college.
No, they were born normal, then they became 10 years after 10 years.
Guys, I come from a village. You guys need to understand.
10-year-olds, imagine, do you think at this age you could have you could deal with a 10-year-old? I sometimes am the 10-year-old in my life. Like I am the person that I need to take care.
It's because we've chosen to live this way.
Also, will you
They
be able to
didn't tell
handle?
us we could do this, but we can.
But will you be able to handle freedom being taken away from you now? Because both you girls are independent, do your own thing, and as you advance in age, it's not going to be easy to compromise suddenly with 5 people in the house, and then you're the person who has to sacrifice for them. I don't know. Think about
What
it.
do you mean
Not a good
5
idea.
people in the house? Am I
When
moving
you have
into
2
a
kids and a
hostel?
husband, and let's say there's an aging parent or whatever, there'll be 5 people in the house, of which all the demands will come to you. You're the CEO. That's what really happens in India. I'm sorry, I'm warning you.
No.
It's not going to be easy to adjust as you enter your 30s, and it'll become worse and worse, and later on it'll become impossible.
Hey,
Same with
okay.
males.
I just want to clarify. Somebody says, "Wow, shots fired at CBE." This is not Coimbatore. I studied in a village in the outskirts of Coimbatore called Karmatampatti. I'm just saying. Okay.
Why would you in Coimbatore proper? Sorry. This is not now. I'm not understanding. Why would you be in rural parts of Tamil Nadu when you
because
could be in the
that's where
city?
my college was. That's why I studied.
But it was a fancy college in a country setting.
It was not a fancy college at all. Like even the people.
Okay,
that
KM
were,
Trust says CB is famous for Sadhguru now. Is that why you left? Because you kind of. Oh, we shouldn't say this. Is this again? This is why I asked.
I like Sadhguru. I've watched some of his
I don't know.
shows. Don't worry. As long as one of us likes the guy mentioned, we're good. I'm good.
This episode
So I'm on his
is.
side.
Thank you, Shweta, very much. I was waiting for somebody to tell me this. Do you want to do a topic?
No, I was thinking,
let's do a topic. That sounds good.
But this was great fun. Good to know about your singleton lives and how it progresses. And any men watching, please remember, don't be intimidated. Okay? They are sort of normal, but they will make you, question yourself and self-respect and confidence in the initial periods. If you get through that,
how do you what's the fun in dating if you're not like a little bit nauseous for the first half of it?
Forget that. If they've got no courage, if men have no courage, why are they dating?
Exactly.
I think one of the evolutionary things is that when a woman likes a man, she becomes a little stupid just for a second. Like
you think?
Whenever she's talking to him, like you start getting giggly, your IQ drops a little bit. I think it's evolutionary
because you're
fall for a man if you're not
stupid. That only happens with Abbas and me. He giggles a lot.
No, that's the line. That's the line. How are you going to fall for a man if you're not a little stupid? That's exactly what it is. Because if we were ourselves like smart, all that, you wouldn't fall for a guy. It's not possible because they're so dumb.
Celibate for the rest of our lives.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking, guys. This is not some like man hate.
No, you're not joking.
Don't date situation at all.
Ayushi,
we'll
we
become
advised Niv
stupid for you.
We advised Niv to date a Westerner, and she sort of did, and it went, I mean, that was the worst story
She
ever.
didn't date,
you know what? I don't choose it.
She sponsored a refugee.
Yeah.
It was, for me, a very romantic outing. If it went further, it would have been a romantic outing. Because he came, he fell asleep, he watched only her set, then she hand-fed him. Okay, and then he begged for more, and she said, no, out you go. So the end of the story is, not nice, but whatever. Indo-Austrian relations are still good.
Dates, and then I don't like pursue after. It's really bad. That's why I stopped. I was like, I think I have fuckboy mentality, but I'm not a fuckboy. You know what I mean?
But do you cancel them? No, but do you cancel them? Do you formally cancel them? How does you just don't respond after the first date?
No, I'm very polite. Are you kidding? I feel really bad.
So what do you say for the second date?
You don't ghost them?
Exactly.
I write essays to tell them the problem is with me, not you.
You're saying this on our forum.
1 second.
This is there forever now.
One date, you give them an explanation?
In the beginning, because I didn't know how to online date before. So
Niv, we got to take this offline. I'm going to show you how to do this. You can't.
I'm learning so much.
You can't be so nice.
No. This is genius.
Yeah,
what she's
I need to stop being. I feel like the need to be polite because that's just.
No,
if
listen.
you're not polite, I feel like they'll get aggressive.
I get it. Let me represent the men. You write a long essay with big words. Men get bored and tired in about 30 seconds. They're off.
Yeah,
they're done. That's a great cancellation technique. Which man is going to go through it? It's like Wordsworth or something all over again. You go through every single word and line.
You don't have to invest so much into it. Like you just don't. You gotta.
It's creativity for her.
Ayushi, can I also get these? Listen, guys.
Shweta, you're married, no?
You know what?
What the hell's going on?
No.
Another podcast.
This is a good one. Sparsh, take note. If you're listening, Voice of God, give me some time.
But I'm going to tell him to watch this episode just for this.
So I've got the title, Single, Female and Desi. That's the story. That's the podcast.
It's where I teach everyone how to date with my amazing track record.
Success. We'll make that up. We'll make that up. In the background,
I can make it up. Exactly.
We have typical Indian names like Rohit, Rajesh and all. Just put names behind. Who knows single names like that? You're done. We'll have one fancy name like Aknathan in the middle and that's it. Yeah.
So there is actually
Shweta's not married. Put her on the list.
Married. I thought Shweta was married. Okay, Shweta, I'll send you the invite to something. I don't know what it is, but I'll find it.
We'll work on it. Don't worry.
Yes. Now, another interesting thing in terms of rejection, on the same vein of rejection, is thanks. A lady in Bangalore. She has claimed that she was rejected from a job interview because her skin tone was too fair, like she's too white or too fair.
So the scorecard is 800,000 against and 1-4. Yeah, just see the scorecard, right?
Yeah. So she put this. I don't want to take her name, but her name is in the the article.
First name you can take.
So her name is Pratiksha. That's her first name. And in a LinkedIn post, she shared a screenshot of the rejection email, which was apparently sent her by this organization. So she hasn't, just to say, she hasn't revealed the name of the organization that she got rejected from. She just said, though, she's screenshotted it. But this is what, and I want to read what it says, okay? So the email read, "Thank you for interviewing with us and being patient throughout the process. Unfortunately, we cannot move ahead with you for this role at this time. We found your profile relevant and all the skills and qualifications match what we are looking for, but we are an inclusive organization and believe in equal opportunity for all. Your skin tone is little fair for the current team. So we don't want differences in our internal team and we decided not to offer you." I do not believe this for 1 second.
I don't believe this.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. I was like, first of all, why wouldn't you say
calling bullshit?
Say it.
Yeah.
Say it. Why aren't you saying it? The fact that she's not saying
it. If there is a company that is saying this and rejecting people based on
sending it on an email where it's there.
You should 100% put their name out.
Shut that company down and get
exactly.
The fact
that's
that
she didn't
exactly the fact that she didn't reveal it and she just put this out and being like,
I need to reveal the company's name. IVM.
I knew it.
I said it. I said it. Someone had to say it. I said it. It's done.
But Cyrus, and how did you get hired? You are of
Uh,
Aryan great descent and all of that, no?
I am
Aren't
hardly
you?
Aryan, one, and two.
Oh, Iranian.
I don't think that
Per-
looks were important when
Persian.
we started the show of any kind.
That's true.
You know,
It
we
wasn't
actually
video.
started with a very exactly with a very clear point that we are an audio platform, and Amit with his strange accent made it very clear to me that this is like radio of the future, blah 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 blah. And then suddenly video became so important that I have to change my t-shirts from time to time. It's ridiculous, really. But I don't think this is a. I cannot believe in 2023 any
Yeah.
MNC or even a small time company, startup, whatever it is, can put on record anything but fair, dark, fat, thin. I mean, you can't do that, man. On
No,
record,
it's not
impossible.
possible. It's not possible. And to send an email like that and to say that you're too fair and it would cause problems in our internal team, so we can't hide. It's rubbish. It's absolute rubbish.
Yeah.
And now she's disabled the comments on her LinkedIn posts and stuff like that because obviously everyone has commented being like, "This is
That's
not right.
bullshit.
You're lying."
So fair and lovely has become fair and lonely now. Poor thing.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
she's written stuff underneath being like, oh, in a world of it, like, when we're trying to be inclusive and blah, 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 like this is how it actually works. This is the
hey,
price you
but
pay for
Ayushi, one
inclusivity
sec.
and all
To,
of
to
that.
be fair, I mean, 100% it goes the other way, and people with darker complexion suffer more, no doubt about that. But all said and done, if she was rejected, I mean, that's terrible. That's really bad.
No,
Prejudice is a prejudice, whichever way it comes.
if this is true, I think she should be like, we should be way more
She can
outraged that
sue.
somebody,
She can
exactly,
sue.
she can 100% sue. I would sue. 100%.
I'll get it done for her. My workout partner is one of the top lawyers in the country. We'll
Also,
work this out. Pratiksha, please
it's
call
But
us.
it's not
Unless you're a
delayed.
bungalow
true.
where Amitabh Bachchan
It's
lives.
not true, so she can't sue.
Well, we don't. Ah, nicely put. What rhymes with put? Yeah. Okay. So we're leaving it as a
Also,
story we're not sure about.
no, we're sure. Niv and I are 100% sure. We're giving the information right now. You heard it here first. It's
But guys,
it's
don't
fake
send
news.
hoax stories, man. Well, the host is hoax enough. I mean, she's not hired for being tone deaf.
By the way,
Movie.
Cyrus, though, there is a job that I thought for you. I
Hmm?
think it's a really good one. And Niv, I think
Done.
you'll know where I'm getting with this.
Sign me up.
Is that now in China, you can be paid to be a full-time child, which you anyway are.
Wow.
So now,
Sweetie, I'm in like Flynn. Reference for the 50s, but what the hell? Yeah.
but okay, here's the thing: your own parents will hire you.
that I forgot to
Your own
mention that
parents won't
caveat.
hire you.
No, they have to
Yeah.
hire you. Your
Oh,
parents have to hire you.
Your own
Okay,
parents.
explain yourself. Okay, one
So-
second. We have to go back to Waves report.
Yeah,
now.
okay.
Sorry. One Coimbatore company want me to inform my reporting manager if I'm dating someone in office. But that's a policy with, let's ask the proprietor of an office, right? They're sitting with us. Ayushi, a lot of offices have that, right? That you cannot date. And that's principally why Abbas and Silvery have not declared their love openly.
That's apparently what's holding them back. Yes, a lot of companies have a no fraternization policy. We don't have one explicitly at all, I will say, but we've never had that issue. So
Can you
We
have sexual
actually have
relations
two-
without dating?
no, but we have two husband wife, like we have two couples that work for us
No,
at two
but
of
they
our
already
offices,
came
like
in. They already came in
husband
as husband wife or whatever.
and wife. Yes, yes.
One of them was already in, then the other came in, whatever. So it's all
Yeah,
post.
one of them
They didn't
got
get
the other
married
one the
during.
job.
Yeah. Wow.
No,
So then
we've not had anyone meet at work and then get married.
okay. Sorry, back to the child in China. Yeah. So what's the point? You become a child and your own parents take you back. What? I don't understand.
So
just
most
Chinese
Join the
whispers.
lying flat movement.
What?
Niv, you
There's
say.
a whole lying flat movement in China, and this is an
Mhm.
extension of that, where young
What?
people they don't want to work so hard, and the economy is bad, so they feel like they're being
Ah.
overworked and exploited. So a lot of them are just doing the bare minimum to get by. We've had this topic before, and so it's called the lying flat movement, and this is an extension of that, where a lot of kids prefer to be employed by their own parents and get pocket money for doing household chores rather than go to office and or pursue a career.
So all our
But it's
Indian
not
business
exactly a
families come under
long-term-
that, don't they? Including Ayushi.
I was about to say I'm lying flat only. I get
yeah.
pocket money is my salary.
Imagine working in an organization where you can go up to dad and say, "Dad, I want an increase." That's it. I mean, there's no argument. And poor dad is like, yeah, okay, just leave me alone.
He will say, if I say that to him, he's saying, I'll decrease you. Get out.
Swear and tell me, if you went up to your dad seriously that you wanted more money, what the hell's going to happen? Like on
Absolutely
your
not.
balance sheet?
He would not.
No way. 100% he would.
No,
100%.
he doesn't.
I can't believe it. I can't believe
Everyone has.
it. Then you'll make him buy you a Mercedes on Tuesday. So that's wrong. I mean, Come on.
But that has nothing to do with work, na? Those conversations are separate.
So post 9, you can take whatever money, you can extort money from the family.
Cyrus,
Okay, got it.
by the way,
Fair.
this conversation of like me painted myself into this corner where it's like, oh, yeah, spoiled, blah, blah, blah. Now I get all these messages, like if I put up something else on Instagram, they're like, why would you do this? You're so out of touch. As if you do this, as if you travel. But excuse me. Yes, this is a joke. This is a persona. But this is a character.
Yeah, I agree with you. I also get this thing about, but you live in Malba and you act like you're really poor and this and that all the time. And it's not fair because everything is relative. No, I'm saying. But people do criticize, but I don't think you can just sit there and decide for the other person what they're going through. Exactly like the fair lady who was dismissed. We find it funny because it's so rare going that way instead of the other way. But what if she really felt really bad? I mean, who's to judge? Yeah, if a person's feeling bad, they're feeling bad. We can't say it's ridiculous. It does sound ridiculous though.
Yeah, it's all relative. Actually, we're criticizing her because we think she's lying, not because she's wrong to feel bad. If this is
we
her
can't
reality,
believe that they put it on print of any kind, on a digital sort of
I don't think so.
like that.
But these Chinese kids,
it's funny. Yeah.
Let her abuse the Chinese kids. The government is watching. Go on.
No, it's not actually an abuse. I think it's like there's some examples listed in the article, and essentially there's this Litsky Lee, and she spends her day now taking care of her grandmother who has dementia. So she like grocery shops, and she basically takes care of the house and her grandmom who lives at home. And her parents pay her like 6,000 yuan, which is like $835 a month. It's a pretty decent middle class wage. And
okay, but if the elderly person has dementia and can't go to the toilet and things properly, etc., it's a full-time job, So I would take a wage for that because that's like a 24 or 7 days a week job. You're watching them, how they walk, their motor skills, blah 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 blah. Depends on what level of dementia there is. Does that mean
no, that's fair. Then you're right. This was a bad example to put in the article, and I should be telling CNN that. However, she did say the reason she's at home.
Always after CNN,
But the reason she said she's at home is because I can't bear the pressure of going to school or work. I don't want to compete intensely with my peers, so I chose to lie flat. This is what Niv was talking about. Like this is.
It could also be that China has taken some parts of India over the years, right? So they've taken some of our culture, where basically kids like to stay at home and be with the parents. But they've only introduced the money concept into it. So
but I'll tell you what, this is a very Asian concept. It's a way to save money and get ahead in life. All right, like housing is very expensive, and if you can live with your parents and save up on your initial
and it's
money,
like pocket
you
money.
should do it.
I know $800 odd sounds decent and all that. It's possibly equal to pocket money. Or the
no money that you earn in your 20s is going to support your lifestyle if you want to live normally.
Unless you're a female comedian with 10 million views on your last video.
An aspiration of 10 million views.
Don't lie. We can track you down.
8 million. It's stagnated. It's stopped over there.
We have like 18 people. That's so mean.
You don't have to tell us that you have millions and all, Niv. Like when we got so excited when we hit like some, 50K.
Yeah. 50K.
No, but it's also the Cyrus, you need to put out a stand-up video on this channel.
Really? This channel's doing badly as it is. Why kill it? Give it 6 more months of probation.
Just put stand-up comedy.
Let's discuss this after the break.
Of Big Boss fame, and look at the numbers. Just
but you can, Cyrus. There is an actual in this whole story. There's also like a full-time children's work communication center. So there's all these support like systems and platforms for these full-time sons and daughters.
My address is Tiny Tot School, Beijing, Parkview Hotel. Okay, but we need to take a break after this topic. Apparently.
Oh yeah, okay, take a break. Cool, take a break. We'll be back.
But who's
I don't know.
One of you?
We'll be back.
You don't even know who's in. Oh my
Rishi.
God, Ayushi, you're the boss. You're supposed to do all this.
But I don't have any tech with me. You can stop it now, Rishi. Stop.
Okay,
cut.
Our podcast has gone premium. It's called Club Cyrus Says. You can be a member. Join now. Don't waste any more time. In fact, don't listen to me. Just go and join. You'll get exclusive tidbits, features, insights, all kinds of stuff that nobody else will get. It'll be just for you. Join now. Become a member of Club Cyrus Says. Ji haan.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On the Habit Coach podcast, Ashton Doctor engages in a discussion with Avadhoot Sarkar, a booktuber. Avadhoot imparts valuable habits for novice readers, strategies for avid readers to maintain their reading habits, and recommends his personal favorite books. On a special episode of Has It Aged Well, Abbas, that's me, and Urjita are joined by comedian Shreyas Manohar to discuss the 2009 Hollywood blockbuster Inception. They discuss why they are big fans of director Christopher Nolan and their expectations from Nolan's new film Oppenheimer. Folks, if you like our shows, please do spread the word. Tell your friends and don't forget to rate and review them wherever you're listening to them. Follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You'll also find our shows on youtube.com/IVM Podcasts. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsor this week, SBI Life. Thank you for making this possible.
I've changed my position. I put the pillow below me so I get a little more height. I found my chin was below the show completely, and not to make
That's
fun of
age,
China.
Cyrus. That's nothing.
So I was like that for most of the show. So I've come here. But if the back hurts, then I may go back to that short position. But nobody cares because visually they're more interested in you. Oh, and audio as well. Not to say that they're not intelligent girls. So, boss, what's up?
So we have another. Okay, so now you can decide. Do you want a really stupid story or do you want a slightly smart story?
As against the Chinese kid thing we just went through. Yeah.
Okay. Since we're talking about jobs and things like that, like how hard it is. So did you know, Cyrus, there was a theft which turned into a reverse, actually charitable situation. So it's kind of like Niv's dating life, where she's trying to get a date, but then she ends up sponsoring a refugee. So in Delhi,
she robbed the bridegroom. Go ahead, sorry.
A gang of burglars they tried to rob this techies house, and they found that there was nothing there, and it was so stark and like there was nothing that they in fact left 500 rupees for him, and then they left.
Wow, I remember when I went to the United States for the first time to New York, and people told me, make sure you have some money on you if they mug you, because if they don't, they get really aggressive. So just keep $10 or whatever. And I remember, so I always kept $10 on me, and I was thinking, if it happens in India, I never have any money. So what's going to happen? Of course, now they have Paytm and all these options that they can give you, but still, I'm thinking.
That's worse. Imagine if somebody like robs you at gunpoint and you're like, I don't have cash, and they're like, okay, G.
But I generally don't. Yeah, you could, but for that also you need your wallet, right? Which stays in my gym bag, which I don't carry with me after the morning. So I don't have because I've always believed you carry money, it's like a gun, you'll use it. So I don't carry money, so I don't use it. Simple. So if I get robbed in Bombay, it's going to be damn tough. So how do we get through this negotiation? They'll be like, we want something. My clothes are horrible. Everything is horrible. My references aren't good. My friends are terrible. There's no one I can talk to. My relatives smell. So basically, I think for India, I'm not prepared for robbery. But when I go abroad, I do carry things. I always carry 10 euros or $10, whatever the right amount. I don't know what the right amount is today.
So you get by on like, forget in Europe, but I'm saying here, you just don't have anything on you ever.
Can I tell you a story and this is a true story. So I remember that once I cut that signal on a Sunday morning, the Kemps Corner Dungarwadi signal going down towards Kemps Corner, right?
Yeah.
And it takes 8 minutes sometimes. So many years ago, I just cut it and went. And this cop stopped me. Those are the days when the cop stopped you and you have what is called the mandoli, where we chat and discuss life and chai pani and all that. So Niv, in the old days, you were allowed to bribe and they were allowed to accept bribes and all was good before this demonetization killed it a little bit. So in that conversation, it was a Sunday and I don't carry money. So he started the conversation with chai pani and all the gestures. So I took out whatever I had in my pant, which was literally a 2 rupee coin, and then he gave me a lecture. Kamal hai, itni achhi gaadi hai aur aapke paas paisa bhi nahi hai. I'm like, how can you give me a moral lecture on this whole issue?
But is he
wrong? Sunday morning. I don't know, but why should I be carrying money? What's the correlation there? Why do you have to carry cash with you everywhere you go? You don't necessarily have to. What's the reason for that?
To bribe.
Yeah, well, now I found out. Yes, that is so now what I do is I keep 100 rupees or 500 rupees inside the mobile. My daughter's kept it there for emergencies. So I have that. I have bribery money. Worst case scenario. Yeah.
Usually it's the parent that says just keep some cash on you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Always.
The parent is the one that usually does that. And
no. My dad taught me how not to spend. He's wonderful. One of the most beautiful things he taught me. He always his answer was, we are poor. Every time you trying to peer pressure with my father, he would just immediately tell you, we are poor. There would be no argument after that. He said, Dad, Vikram's got a Mercedes. We are poor. Matters just closed. There's no question of, oh shit, my poor kids, they feel so bad, I'll work harder. No, we are poor. We don't have money. That's it. You just manage.
That's actually a good way to about things.
It's great. It's great because you don't feel that, that desire after some time. It's just dead.
You yearn and want for less because you're like, oh, I can't get it anyway. What's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's beyond cynicism. It's a reality. You just accept it and it's done. It's over. That's why.
It makes you humble. That's why, Cyrus, you're so humble.
I'm very humble, and my wife saying it makes me even more humble. My wife is even more humble for marrying me. Can you imagine? Yeah, poor thing. She's out there somewhere in the wild. So coming back, so $500 to the techie. Really, I mean,
this is just a conversation about how less people get paid in India.
Yes.
Yeah, and every techie is not rocking. Every techie is not rocking as people's parents think.
Starting salaries in India are just horrible. You cannot live off of them.
What is the starting salary? Really depends where you're living, bro. What do you guys say?
No, but starting salary also is
it's gone through the roof right now. If you're living in that area, no, you have to pay for rent.
Are the same across cities, and that's
exactly.
wrong.
It doesn't work. Absolutely, that's my point.
It should be more.
Absolutely right.
We have that.
I mean, the rent will wipe you out in Bombay, Delhi. Yeah,
exactly.
For sure. Even your commute here, like we factor in you have to factor in how far somebody's coming from, whether it's even, I know that sometimes when we've received interviews and like we have good candidates, sometimes when you look at where they live and like where your office is, you're like, I just feel bad. Like, and you ask them like 4 times before you ask them 4 times before you go ahead. You're like, are you going to be okay with this commute? Like, is this something that's fine?
But Ayushi, they're techies, so they can work from home with a little comp. I mean, technically, just remember that. That issue should be there. Yeah.
We also do have the idea, Niv is right, that like the assumption as a lay person is always that like techies have a good job, like they get good signing salaries.
No, they get a good salary, but it's all relative to where you're living and how you're living.
He lives in Rohini in Delhi, so I can't imagine it being like.
There's nothing cheap in Delhi anymore, man. Delhi is just like too expensive. People, techies in Delhi are just living in rickshaws. I mean, it's horrible the condition. Someone speak for the techies. Somebody hold their hand and bring them back into civilization. Please, there's so many there's the Red Fort or something. Put them there. There's so many heritage sites which are empty. Just let them live somewhere. Give them Wi-Fi and small laptops or whatever, and let them live there for God's sake. And maybe 1 meal a day.
So you want the
central
government, the Delhi government,
Kejriwal's government. This is his problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is his problem. The Delhi government to set up a encampment for destitute techies.
Not a refugee status, but a sort of rehousing. Ghar wapasi in my version of that. Rehousing. That's what.
Because so what about us? Like
us? You have 4 houses.
No, not me. I mean, like the panelists on the show. We don't make a lot of money.
We don't know Niv's background, huh? Because the Coimbatore village area that she speaks of, I don't know whether she has some 500 acres in friggin' Tamil Nadu, which will be worth millions of dollars.
She forgot that she forgot to mention she owns that neighborhood in Coimbatore.
Exactly. It might have a name.
You know what? This was actually a really funny thing that happened when I was in college. Because I spoke in English, people thought I was rich. It's a thing that people think when you speak in English in the South, especially like in smaller villages.
What do you think Cyrus and I have been doing on the show?
Such an illusion. This bloody English speaking and they think we're rich is so wrong, yaar. Sorry, go on.
So go ahead.
And intelligent. Like, you're not intelligent either. A lot of people that I've met in my life who spoke in English with you know what? In fact, there was one other boy in my class that spoke in English, and I immediately found out why people hate people that speak in English, because that boy was just the worst person I've ever met in my life.
Was he rich?
But he was very rich.
So that was he spoiled the egg that spoiled the basket sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
He actually turned out to be the stereotype, like unfortunately.
Yep.
Yeah. You had to fight against that. He was already there.
But the way to figure out if someone was rich or not is to ask how much property you had, or if you owned a house somewhere or something, right? So people would ask me, they'd be like, hey, so where, your dad must be really rich. Where do you own a house? And I'd be like, oh, we don't own a house. And then they'd be like, she's lying. She's a liar. And they just like stop talking to me after that, because they think I'm not saying the truth because I speak in English and I'm saying I don't own a house. But like 4 years into engineering,
that is such a paradox to parts of Mumbai where basically we have lots of academic families, etc., who do really well in terms of their language skills and knowledge and all that, but are not very well off comparatively. And some of the people with money, Ayushi, please correct me. I mean, the class of society you're talking about is like horrid. I mean, you wouldn't want to put them in the public.
Yeah,
podium.
money, education, class, and like
No
just
correlation.
there's
Yeah.
no correlation between any of these things. And that's not a classist thing to say, I promise you. There's just,
No, but
there
but
is
her
no.
point is it's a stereotype, which is whether it's right or wrong is immaterial. It's just there, the stereotype, so she had to deal with it. I can
Yeah, but
imagine.
Yeah,
I'm
but
pretty sure
I
Niv
do
must
think
have
it's still.
perpetuated it. I think she must have made it work because every time she denied, she'd be like, "No, guys, I just speak. I don't have anything. We don't have anything." And then you just keep thinking, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, how big is
I
this
heard
empire that
she had
she's sitting
no,
on?"
she had this hack to deal with the boys falling in love with her. That's when she says she can't speak Tamil. You know, the moment they start giving her love messages and all that, and breaks into English. That was a one way to handle them. And that's what this poor guy, imagine. So he wrote all that and she pretends she can't read it. You know, it's like thousands of pages in Tamil.
Oh,
But he's
what?
like,
No, I could read all of it. Are
and
you
there's no
kidding?
Google. There's no Google Translate.
What's
She's
the
like, she's
best?
saying, go back, English file and bring it back. So that guy's
Yeah.
still writing. Huh.
Have I asked? I think I don't remember if I've asked you, but my memory is shite. Have you? Do you have it? Like, have you kept that?
No,
Like, do
I
you
gave
Yeah,
it
yeah.
back to him. I thought it was very cruel to keep it because all of the girls that saw it with me were
They
making
laughed.
fun of it. Like they
Ah.
laughed a lot,
How
and I felt
mean.
really
It's a
bad
romantic
because this
gesture. I
guy.
still feel bad for the guy.
It
I mean,
was
how
a pink
romantic.
notebook, and he had like drawn things on the left pages and written things on the right one.
Wow. You girls, you'll go on making fun of how the men have no romance, no sense of romance, never do anything special. I mean, every girl I know tells me about the male in their life being inadequate in that sense. And then you get this guy who's like, he's the other end of the scale. I mean,
Yeah, but
realms of words and pictures and thoughts and I
Cyrus,
mean,
balance
first,
everything
Yeah,
in
there's a lot of
moderation. Like, you don't want
yeah,
a
yeah.
stalker.
I had like
I
a
mean,
bunch of
normal.
teasers before he gave me the actual book. Like all my classmates would be like, "Oh, you know, something's about to happen. Something's about to happen," and I was like, "Oh God,
oh, you
no,
mean
let it
information
not
or he
happen."
sent you snippets? Did he send you snippets before that?
He didn't send me. His friends sent me. So, you know,
How do
when
they
a
have
man likes a woman,
what?
all his friends will like gather together and just root for him, and that's what his friends
Fair
did.
enough.
Even after I said no,
Fair
they
enough.
gave me so much shit. Like for 2
Yeah,
years
guys
after
do
that,
that.
I
That's
got
so
phone
bad.
calls by men like cursing me out because I didn't say
Yeah.
okay
Pack
to
of
this
wolves.
guy.
That
it was
happened to me in
getting.
school when I
That's
like
when I
told
developed
someone
a
that I didn't
habit
like
of
them.
being extremely polite when I turn someone down. Like I'm very,
Oh,
very polite
that's
because I
why
was
I
afraid
didn't
of
learn
the.
that lesson at all.
What's your
See,
story,
this is
Ayushi? You did the
no,
same thing?
I just told someone that I didn't like them, and it kind of went in a roundabout way. Fair enough. There was some miscommunication. I couldn't hear very well. Music was loud. Whatever.
What?
I
What
just
kind of excuses? It sounds so elite. We were in a
Was this
disco.
in a club?
Disco was playing.
no.
He says, I love
Someone
you.
said
I said,
that
shut the fuck up.
so similar. Somebody said some. So this very nice gentleman, he said that he liked me, and I said okay. And he sort of took that to mean maybe that I also liked him back, and that kind of went
He's
ahead. So
good.
then
It's a neutral word.
yeah. So I came to school the next day, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, you guys are together!" And I'm like, "Wait, what the fuck is everyone talking about?"
He
Like, you
went
gotta be
back and
kidding.
told everyone he's nailed it.
No. I think it was kind of like because I didn't really say no. I just kind of said okay, and we still hung out. So it must have. I guess that look, it was open to
That's a
interpretation.
bit, once a guy confesses and all, he's do the hanging out, that's painful, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be a
You
little
gotta
cool.
like reject
I
it
admit that.
I prefer
Right. So
Niv's theory then.
the next day I had to tell him, and I remember like how it happened. But then all his friends were such assholes to me after.
Yeah.
Like they all like
Yeah.
individually at different points came up to me like, "How could you do this to him? He's such a nice guy." And like
Yeah.
I was like, I never said he's
Did
not a
you
nice
not say?
guy.
Didn't you tell them why didn't you date him? One of those lines.
I'm sure I must have. I used
He's
to be
so
very
nice,
like I was extra as a kid. I was like, you fuck off.
So
and
what?
all, like-
When they stay in the class or school or college or whatever, then what happens in the dynamic post that? Because
It
then
was
how? I mean,
awkward.
you're
He didn't
still.
used to look. He didn't used to look at me
Yeah.
after that. He didn't look
Wow.
at me. He didn't really acknowledge me for a while. It's all fine now. He's happily married, very
I should
attractive
think you're
wife.
talking at school, right? I mean,
Yeah,
by now
yeah,
he's gotten over it,
He
right?
did very
He's
well
in an ashram
professionally
somewhere.
and personally. I did him a favor, actually.
Well, I don't know. This is a tough one because I don't know whether you should be cruel, as they say, because that's at least that ends the matter. The rejection is clear and they can move on, or you can do an okay. Because I like okay also. That's a polite way of saying no, I guess. But sometimes you can't read between the lines when you're blinded by love, and you're so
Yeah, but
positive that ki okay ka matlab hai, maybe yes or something.
but
So
school like I agree with Niv. Like sometimes school boys and like college boys, they can be very cruel about it. Like as in how
But that's
dare you go
later.
against our
That's later.
lad?
It's cut one, they all bleed kind of thing. The gang is, whatever, getting together and saying you've hurt our guy and all that. This is ridiculously stupid and very unnecessary. honestly.
Yeah,
Because how
and
can they
like,
force you to like him? I mean, I am dating consultant. I am. Ask me more. Ask me more. Yeah. But can I be honest? I have broken up at least 3 times with girls where I couldn't do it myself. I've sent Kunal once and my friend Neeraj Kochar twice. I don't know where he is now.
you're
Terrible.
kidding me. That's
There was no
horrible.
mobile. There was no mobile. Okay, so there's no internet. There's no option like that.
That's
You go
not
back
the.
in time.
Write a
No, no.
letter.
So it's,
What?
yeah, you got that option, which is because that stays, huh? That stays. That's the whole thing about texting or whatever. It
You have to
stays.
tell them you're
The
too fair
coldness
for
of that
me.
line is there forever.
You're too fair. I have to reject you.
Oh, I just ran. A lot of men do that. When we lose interest or whatever, we run. We just fully cowardice
it's-
on display. We
Then
just run.
how would you feel if would you rather Cyrus break up with you, or would you rather Kunal break up with you on behalf of Cyrus?
Because he
It
can be.
depends how long have we
he
been
can-
dating.
6 months.
Look, if you give me the job to do for Abbas, say to with his girlfriend, it's easier for me to do, right? In the sense that I can handle this. I mean, even though you're crying and upset, whatever, I can even abuse Abbas and do whatever I have to get the thing.
Oh,
it's
like
easier to
that way. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Well,
King
Genghis,
Julian says, very
Genghis
coward
is-
for
King
someone
Julian-
claiming lineage of
yeah,
Genghis Khan.
but Chengis's whole thing was different. They just there was no questions asked. There was no proposal with the woman. It's a little
Let's
different,
not
that whole
use
style.
him. Yes, please
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
not
yeah,
use
yeah,
him as
yeah.
a standard
Those
for
days were
dating
different. Yeah, you just needed a
at
horse.
all.
Okay, then you'd find the girl after that. It's simple,
He
nothing
was-
more. Yeah,
He was not exactly.
he was special.
He was special. Now we can leave it at that.
Wow, where did we take our topic? Really? Should we go to the
I had
AMAs?
one.
We've
Yeah, you can
done
do it.
nothing.
You can
We've
do
just
it.
done Nib in your love life and how
Cyrus,
you
by
rejected
the way,
men.
there was a
Huh.
guy in Madhya Pradesh who was caught red-handed taking a bribe, and because he was caught red-handed taking a bribe, and they were videoing him, he chewed up the notes, put it, and he swallowed it, and he ate them up. He ate up 4,500 rupees. They took him to the hospital, and they extracted the money
How?
from him.
From the
They said
they
they
didn't vomit.
extracted the pulp.
One
They
second, it'll have to
extracted
come.
pulp.
The process has to go from the other end. How do
No,
you can't
They
vomit?
took it out. They took it out this way because
Notes.
it must have just been 4,500 rupees worth. He chewed it up and he
Oh,
ate
Jesus.
it.
So
Man, our Prime Minister was
imagine,
right.
all right? So
Cash has
he
to
got
stop.
He took
This
the bribe.
episode is a demonetization pro episode.
Really?
Imagine how much practice he's had throughout his life as a kid.
Please
like,
ask the
trying to
chat.
eat his
No, I want to
homework,
know how it came
whatever.
out, bro. Girls,
I'll
how
tell
does
you
it come
one
out?
second. 1 second.
Because
I'll
once
tell
you
you.
swallow it after a period of
doctor
time, the digestive
extracted
process
it.
has started, Dr. Niv. So how the hell do you throw it up?
Okay.
No, it
but
says
they
it.
did-
It says it.
His stomach. They said extracted it from his mouth.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, so he's not
As soon as
swallowed
he
it.
was arrested, Patwari swallowed the currency notes. He was then brought to the district hospital after a lot of effort. The bribe notes were finally extracted in the form of
Did he
pulp
pay for the
from
cab?
his mouth. They took it out, and then the case was registered against them. Yeah.
So he's
Can
not
you
swallowed it.
imagine?
Yeah. Swallowing it would be another level altogether. And the procedure would be horrible. And then who would want those notes? I mean, God. Oof. What kind of topics have you come up with, Ayushi? I think our love life was much more interesting. Every topic, the Chinese kid thing was nonsense. This bloody thing is rubbish. What are we doing? Who chose these topics? Shoot Sparsh, somebody.
I don't. Do you think the panelists picked the news? No.
By the way,
Sparsh
Sparsh is
tells
not on
us
the
what
chat.
the
Only
news
Rishi's
is.
on the chat. Sparsh has given up because the weekend starts on Thursday for Delhi. He's gone. This
Who's
is
left?
Rishi. Yeah, Rishi's
No,
there,
no,
but
he's
he's
I
in
think any-
coma.
I think if any IBM employee absconds, that means they can be directly correlated to the fire.
Fire,
and
yeah.
It should
And
be
will get
number one.
fired. In time.
Okay, so do we have
Rishi
questions?
says he's on another recording. How can he take another recording when we have a live show with two young girls? The only time we have two young girls. What the hell's wrong with this guy? Please bring him
Okay,
back. What are
Since this is a
young
dating
girls aren't
show,
interested in Sparsh?
Rishi, shall we do AMAs? Yes?
Yeah,
Rishi doesn't care. He's in Panvel.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
watching
yeah.
a whole football match. He's so happy that ultimately $776 million was not enough to bribe a man, and that Mbappe will pay the Paris Olympics. So he's in a different world altogether.
But
Yeah.
honestly, I think the internet went a bit crazy because he would make more money than any athlete in living history. That's insane.
More money. There's nothing close. I went through everything. NBA. I went through everything. There's nothing close.
Yeah,
It's
more
like
than
5 times
LeBron.
more. Oh, buy LeBron and the kids and sell them somewhere. 776 million for one season. I mean, it's ridiculous. And
13
by the way, he doesn't
million a week pounds.
Yeah. Rishida woke up. Rishida, we talk football. Rishi's huge.
Football, he's come.
He's like
Voice of
Osama.
God.
Yeah, really.
But I can't believe it. That's too much. But that's too much money.
Ayushi, just
He's
look
good.
at the potential.
Of course he's good. But
Mbappe. No, he's arguably the greatest, the most sellable footballer in the world at the moment. As these two aging ones go into retirement, and let's say Salah
I know,
and a
and
few
now
others.
Messi is wearing his little breast cancer jersey and all.
Yeah,
He's
due
gone.
respect, due respect. It's a Novak moment there as well. So the writing's on the wall. I'm saying.
He's not
So
done
Mbappe.
yet.
No, but Mbappe is the future. Rishi, you can come back and correct me.
Oh, but
And
there's
he
this
will
other
make.
guy who's from Holland or something now, though.
No, his name is
no, no,
Haaland. He's from Norway.
Yeah, he's from Norway and he plays for Man City. Now the point is,
His name is
I
Haaland.
got the area right.
see, you're right.
We
You're right.
were
There
in
are a few.
phonetically,
Mbappe-
we were in that zone. Okay, Rishi, we came
Mbappe will
close.
win in the Western world. Will win a lot more endorsements after saying no to this as well. I'm telling you, he's going to
Because
just
now
his
what
whole.
he has integrity.
No, exactly. Which none of these footballers have, with due respect. So it'll take him up a notch or two. Rishi,
Haaland
can you
needs to do
comment?
something about his hair.
Cyrus,
Like, his hair is a bit-
no other European club have that money to buy him right now.
That's another point. But I'm saying
And
the fact
his
that
own
he's
club
not
has
gone.
told him to go away.
No, they wanted the money for themselves, so they were willing to take
Wait.
it. They,
Yeah.
300 was coming to them, nah. 300 million was coming to them, 700 odd to him, 770
Yeah.
to him. So they were getting a huge package, girls.
One
But they
second.
have told him he
It's all
cannot
business.
stay.
He has
Yeah.
no club. He's clubless.
Right now, he's nowhere.
But he's Mbappe. What do we know club? They'll line up tomorrow, yeah. That's not
But
an
have
issue.
they?
No one
Wait,
has
wait,
that
wait.
amount of money, Cyrus.
But have they lined up
Someone
for
will
him?
pay. All right, someone will pay. He's Mbappe. Come on, the guys, don't be
That's the
ridiculous.
Saudis.
Are you
That's
telling me
the
he's going to be a
Saudis.
freeloader for the rest of his life? He's just going to be a free agent.
Can
It's not gonna
Liverpool
happen.
buy him?
Liverpool don't have the money. You know that. They have money for Miguel's ticket to go
No
and
one
watch
has
the game in
300
Anfield.
million.
Huh.
I don't think any of the EPL teams have
Money
the
will come through endorsements.
for
It's
him.
not going to come through his salary will be as high as they can afford, whoever gets him, but it's not going to be more than that. Okay, guys, let's get back to the AMAs.
Okay, AMAs. Ruben David said, since today is a dating advice show, yes, it actually is. Are rebounds a good idea, and how soon is too soon?
I hate to say the stereotype cliche is true, at least, but you guys speak first, please.
I think a rebound is fine, but you have to know it's a rebound. So as long as you know that, and the other person is vaguely has the idea that this is a rebound, then it's fine. Don't mislead someone. That's all.
Yeah.
Niv, I'll just say this from what I remember, because I've not dated anyone for years, is that when you have a strong, intense relationship and it breaks up, the next one is so much calmer because for some reason your intensity is gone completely and you're more relaxed. In many ways,
Because
you
you've
know, it's
been
almost like
drained.
yeah, it's a necessary thing. It's almost like a scientific process which you should go through. So, Ruben, I think there's no way out of it, honestly. I can't see you going from intense to intense without a long break in between. So, if it's intense
Rebound is
relationship,
fine.
draining,
But
sorry?
also, if
You-
you
you
can
have to.
consider
You
staying
have to.
single after a breakup.
well, that depends. Y'all are attractive enough. You don't have a problem. For some of us men, you know, we don't have a choice. We are single not by choice.
Vikram says his current rebound is 10 years running. I think that's called marriage.
Yeah, well, he's settled
Yeah,
down
he's
too.
probably married
Because
to this
Vikram,
person.
as a male, you understand that sometimes, you know, the janjat not being there and, you know, I mean, it's a, you know, whatever, the intensity may be a little lower, but by God, your life is relaxed. You know, come on. Because
All
you can't
right.
be in one of those relationships where it just takes everything out of you, you know, when you just can't focus on anything else and there's just so much fighting and, you know, up and down and temperament and all that. So sometimes I'm not against the arranged marriage. Sometimes I think people should just work it out. It's like a chessboard and figure out the pieces and get going. Niv, I recommend the arranged marriage for you because I think you're going to be too judgmental with men. So you better pick and
I'm out
choose
of the
properly.
age range for arranged marriage. No,
Yeah,
No, no,
both
no,
of
no.
us are out.
No.
No.
That's for parents. That's
Yeah.
for parents arranged marriage. Hello, girls. Don't
No.
talk nonsense. There are lots of people who are
Niv and
thankfully
I are
independent. The
way
dating
outside the
sites
range.
allow you to find a man in your 75s. So stop it.
Yeah. Someone
But
who's
Cyrus,
lost a leg
we
or
are
something.
scraping. No, then we are scraping the bottom of the barrel because anyway.
What do I
now
tell
you're in your
59-year-old Kunal
30s.
Vijayakar when he goes on the dating sites and we're all rooting for him on the side?
He
Come on,
can't
guys.
fit in the barrel.
No, the site is there so that you can find. Okay, fine. Take a shot at someone who's already down. Yeah. Huh.
I'm so sorry. That was
Okay.
such a mean joke, but it was
It
right
was.
there. I'm
It
so
was.
sorry. I'm
You have
so
to do
sorry.
it. As a comedian, you had to do it. You had to go there. It's called being a joke whore. We all do it. We're all guilty of it. It's fine. It's fair enough. Yeah.
I love it. I love it when there are funny people who do not like go on stage and do the jokes because they're so much more savage about their jokes. Like people who go on stage they get scared.
Yeah.
I
But
want
that's
to get
experience
an
Who
also,
don't
right?
make money off of it have no barriers. I love it.
Yeah.
It's the best.
I do not make money off of
I
this.
think your first 2 years as a
love
comic
it.
writer are very important,
Amazing.
where you will be completely free, and then slowly the censorship will become from your own self and others, and then you lose your
Yeah.
art. And by the 10th year, you'll be on the internet stealing Niv's material. Thank you, Niv, for all that you've given us.
Cyrus,
Next
one
one.
question before we go is from Som Subro Chaudhary. He is paid for this question. He said, Cyrus, do you suffer from constipation after eating 12 eggs a day?
Shamsubro, as they say in Bengali, my bowel movement is like clockwork. Clockwork. Don't worry. No worries at all there. All good.
All right.
I'm very
Isn't there a
disciplined in
whole
timing.
study
So
that
that's not...
you only eat 2 eggs a day or 3 eggs a day or something?
Sorry?
Isn't
Hey,
there a whole research study that says you can't eat more than 3 eggs a day?
No, there's a data this way and that way, cholesterol, anti-cholesterol,
Cyrus,
yellow, no yellow.
Yeah.
you have some fans.
We are in the middle of doing that. We had a big meeting on planned with someone, but they couldn't come from Pune because of the rains yesterday. I mean, we told them not to. I mean, honestly, if you're having
It was
meetings
bad
and you're
yesterday.
not
It
sure,
was
but
bad.
I have a problem. I'm not patient, and I can't wait for people. And it's really wrong to get someone who's driving 3.5 hours, which may become 5 hours, to say, okay,
Yeah.
bro, now I got something else to do. But you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's the chief minister's new thing about just shutting schools for no reason or whatever. I'm all for it. At least end it, so we don't mess the whole day up. Just leave it.
Hey, by the way, if
monsoon days are like this.
If you're hiring for that show, you should consider me. I'm happy to be your sidekick.
Sidekick. I'm the sidekick.
Okay, one
Yeah.
last question, then we can go. What is this?
What do you make of
King.
motivational?
King Julian said, AMA for Cyrus. 7
Ignat-
years.
Oh.
Okay, I got another
Yeah.
one.
Oh.
AMA for Cyrus. 7 years in and CS hasn't run into major controversy. Kunal's show finds itself in one every other month. Do you blame yourself or your folks at IVM who are unable to generate traction?
Well, to Kunal's credit, his controversies have nothing to do with him. It's completely the guest talking. He's not even asked them a question which is controversial. So he's almost like he's the guest on the show and they're the anchor. Because, they just, the latest one with Sudha Murthy, Info says, I mean, it was on her own. It's nothing to do with him.
That's true.
Ranbir Kapoor
She
says
went
something
off by
about
herself.
nothing to do with him. Yeah. And Raga is Raga. What is Kunal? Kunal was just trying to breathe heavily throughout that entire episode. So yeah, he's innocent. But King Julian, put it this way, Kunal is far more interesting to listen to. I mean, if you talk to him, he's like 17 words a second. I mean, he's just great fun. He's witty. He's innovative. Okay, I'm lying. He's a fucking bore. So I don't know what you're talking about, but he's doing well.
Yeah, I'm happy. And
Yeah.
Cyrus Says, as a show, we will one day get to the point where
No.
our controversy is
No.
noticed.
Before that happens, we need to have a studio. We've gone back. We're regressing. So, our story is very different. Really, we have to 2 steps back at the moment. Yeah. So
We've
stop
taken
humbling
steps
us
back.
and humiliating us.
The
yeah.
only person that can extract things from this podcast is Sparsh. So you should hire him
He's
and
lost.
get him to
And
take the snippets that were
can I tell you,
controversial.
hand on heart, you two are his favorites. So he didn't turn up today. So I'm really worried about the show now. A, it's burnt. The studio's not there. Amit is never paying attention. Sparsh has gone on when his 2 favorites are on. So I have no idea what's happening. But Divyananda has said, my favorite panelists, you two. We should make them permanent, at least in members only live. Okay, we can try, but
Still, I have not
it's
understood
pricey.
the concept of the show. When you say members only live, like what does this mean?
The members
But
only
anyway,
is the
paid
members
one.
only is the Monday show at the
Yeah,
moment. Yeah.
So you didn't
But
have a
still-
show this Tuesday? You did have
We
a
did,
show.
we
on
did. So
Tuesday.
the Tuesday is a public show. Friday is a public show, which is normally the guest show. It's like that. I mean, hopefully before the year ends, we'll go to 4 shows. So we get 3 public shows. I told him we have to have 3 public shows and 1
Yeah, I
not
agree.
public show.
I'm
minimum.
missing my pocket money.
Yeah. I mean, you'll live off this for the rest of your life. Think of this as your pension, your go-to plan, your mutual fund. Of course, subject to market risk, going to read the document carefully before investing in. Okay.
Now I have to go to my
Whoa.
job. I have to
Yeah,
go.
wow. And I have to go to Dwarka to eat puri bhaji. I need more carbs to get my weight up. It's carbs,
Ooh,
carbs.
nice.
I'm not even looking at the diabetes for 2 weeks more. This is my
How
birthday. After that, I'll
exciting.
check.
Hey,
Yeah,
Cyrus,
forget-
when's your birthday?
7th August, be there, Shriram's house, Chembur.
Are you having a party? 7th August, I'm in Delhi.
When you're 52, you don't have a party, you call your doctor. What are you talking about?
Sad.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, guys. I
Okay.
have to go. But
Bye,
you can
ladies.
chat.
Have a good day.
Bye.
No, we're done.
Have a
Don't
nice
worry.
day, everybody.
Bye.
Okay, thank you so much for watching the show. First, let me verify if anyone's left. Okay, not sure. Can't tell. Lighting is not good. But you know the drill. It's very simple. Like and subscribe. We need that, guys. I'm desperate for it. I've just been told we don't get like and subscribe by November 31st, which doesn't exist because it's not there in the month. There'll be trouble. So please like and subscribe as quickly as possible. And that's all we have time for. And leave your comments. Your likable, lovable, laughable comments. Anything you want to say. Criticize us. Say anything you want. We don't care because we don't really read them. But please, no, I'm kidding. We do.